The next concept is, guys, libraries in CodeIgniter. Previously, we discussed about helpers. What is a helper and how can we load a helper? How can we call the helper methods into our controller? We see. In the same manner, library. Helpers are group of functions under a specific category. What is a library? A library, simply I'm saying you, a library is a class file. Okay, it's a class. What is a helper? A helper is a function. What is a helper? Helper is a function and a library means a class, guys. So we seen helpers, a group of functions under a specific category. Libraries is a class. What is a class again? We know that a class contains collection of methods and properties, guys. For example, what I want to tell you, let us assume we have a library called welcome. Assume. So what is its name? Welcome is a class, guys. Actually, what is this welcome class contain? Let us assume there is a method called test method. There is a method called hi method. There is a method called sample method. Maybe let us assume these are the methods we have. Let us assume welcome is a library. 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 What is a library? A library is nothing but simply a class file, guys. What is a class? We know that a class is always going to be contain some collection of and predefined methods inside the class. Right. This is a library. How can we load the library into our controller? So we know that how can we load a helper, guys? This of load of a helper. This is a way of loading a helper. So the name of the helper name we are going to pass here. And you know how to load a view also, right? This soft load of view, this soft load of model, something like we know, right? This is going to be the view name. I'm going to write something like this. So take it as a view name. And for loading a view, we have a method called view method. How can we load a model, guys? For loading a model, we have a model method. So this model method contain name of the model. This is what we know. We already seen some of the methods, guys, right? Do you see? We created one model. Let me go and let me open the model which we created. Go to the news folder application. In this, we have models folder. There is one model, guys. What is a model? We have blog model is there. My form model is there. Let me open blog model. Can you see? This is the blog model and this is the calling the way of method, right? So 1 minute, what I want to tell you. So we have a model. How to load a model, guys? To load a model, this of load of model. In this model, we have to pass something called blog model. So in this blog model, we have one method, guys. What is our class name? I have a class called blog model. 1 minute. Blog model. Under this class, we have a method called get all blocks. This is the method we have inside of it. So once the model is loaded, how can we call the model method here? Simply, we can call like this now. This of blog model. Blog model. What is a method name? We have get all blocks. This is a way of loading the model methods. We already seen it, right? In the same manner, how can we work with the libraries? Model is a class. Generally, we know that a class contains collection of methods and properties. In the same manner, a library is also a class. For example, we have a predefined class. Let's assume predefined library, validation library, guys. What is the library name? Validation or form validation. You can take anything here. Form underscore validation library. This is the predefined library in our CodeIgniter. So how can I load the library and how can we call the library methods here? If you want, see, so just gone through the manual, there is a method, guys, to load a library. We have a method, this of load of what you want to load, library, library. This is the name of the class, guys, library class. Here, remember, CodeIgniter is providing some of the predefined libraries, and we can also create our own libraries also based on the requirement, custom libraries that we will talk about later. How can we create custom libraries? How can we call the custom libraries into our application development? Custom helpers also that we will see in a separate session, guys. Don't worry. Custom helpers, custom libraries creation, we'll talk about later. First of all, whatever the library we have, framework itself is providing some of the predefined libraries, and those libraries will help us in our application development. For example, you want to validate an email ID, you want to validate a mobile number or any other pin code or whatever it may be. To validate this, there is a library called form validation library. How can I load the form validation library? By using this of load of library. We have, you want to send an email, na? To send an email, there is a library called email library, guys. This of load of library. Name of the library is going to be the email is the name of the library. Email library. You want to work with file uploading. So if you want uploading file uploading, there is a library called file upload library. For everything, there is a library. You want to work with pagination. So for example, if you want to work with pagination, there is a library called pagination library. This is how we can load all libraries. If you want to load all libraries in one shot, we can take like this also, guys. So this of load of library, and we can take them into an array, library. Here we can take it as an array, guys. Here in this we can pass library 1, library 2, library 3, something like this, right? So here we can pass email library. This is how all the libraries we can load at a time. This is upload library, and this is going to be the pagination library. Something like this, we can load all the libraries. So this is how we can load multiple libraries in one shot. Like same, guys, yesterday, what we did with helper, the same I'm going to do with the library. But the only difference you guys needs to check is yesterday's concept, that is in the previous session concept is a library, sorry, helper. Helper is a method. But today's concept is library. Library is a class. Class contain some of the predefined methods, guys. Okay, once a library is loaded, we have to access that library methods. How can we access the library methods, guys? For example, you are loading a form validation library. Let us assume there is a library called form validation. In form validation, we have a method called run method. There is a predefined method, guys. We have another method called set underscore rules method, guys. And another set rules method are there. Two methods are there. How can I call this set rules method? How can I call the run method? Simple thing, guys. First thing, you have to load the library. So here, what we are talking about, loading libraries into controller. How can we load a library into controller? This is what the way of loading a library, guys, right? So here, this software of library. In this library, we have to pass the form underscore validation. This is the name of the library. We loaded. After loading this library, what is the method we have here? Run method and set rules method, right? Then how we can load this method, you know, guys, if we can check this, this is the way of loading the method. Can you show you? Right. This is what this of form underscore validation of run method. In the same manner, we access the model methods also. Do you remember? This is what the way of accessing the model methods. We have another method called set underscore rules method, guys. What is the method we have? Set rules method. Like this, we have to access them. So let me show you. First of all, go to the our user manual. So this is the libraries, general topics. Go to general topics here. Click on the libraries here using CodeIgniter libraries. What is a library, guys? Simply, you can check the definition of a library. What they are saying that. Don't worry. All of the available libraries are located in system libraries. All the predefined libraries, whatever the framework is providing, those libraries are available in the following location. In most cases, to use one of these classes involves initializing within controller. Right? What they are saying this point, you know, most of the predefined libraries are going to be loaded into controller. This is the point they are saying that these classes involves initializing within the controller using the following installation methods. How we can load? This is the way of loading. Can you see? How can we load this? So here, how can we create custom libraries? Well, we will see it later. And if we can see, how can we load multiple libraries by using library method? The same we see in helpers also. This is also the same, guys. This is the way of working with the libraries. Let me show you how can we work with a small library, guys, so that it will be helpful for us. Okay, right. What I want to do here, you can go to the manual. Here in the manual, you can see the list of available libraries, guys. Can you see? Click on these libraries and we can see the list of available libraries. Can you see benchmarking class, calendaring class, shopping cart, configure? This is what exactly very important class, guys. This is email class, encryption, file uploading, form validation. Lot of classes are there. Almost all 20 to 25 or 30 classes around they given, guys, right? Each and every class we can use in our application development. Exactly. This is the pagination class. Can you see pagination class? Language class. For example, if you want to work with language translation, convert the website into Telugu, Hindi, or English, something like this. We can go with the language class also. Input class, for example, whatever the data we are submitting in the form, if you want to read that, we can use the input class, guys. Email class, to send an email from our local machine, as we can use our email class. Config class, this is all about the configuration class, guys, which is predefined, right? Config class. So benchmarking, caching, and calendaring class also, there is a concept called calendaring class. How can we display a calendar? Shall we see, guys? Shall we work with a calendar so that we will understand how exactly the calendaring class will be displayed, guys? Okay, if you don't know libraries, first time working with calendaring class, if we don't know how to work with it, first be patient and read the manual, guys. Using CodeIgniter class, how can we use the CodeIgniter class? How can we initialize the class? Displaying a calendar, how to display a calendar into a view, right? Okay, let us go, guys. I am going to create one controller, guys. All of you try to see. Let us create one controller. So my controller name is here. This is going to be, let me make this as a new year. My controller name is like this. You can create any name, no worries. Okay, just I'm taking you because we are working with calendar, right? Class, what is my class name? New year is the class name, guys. New year extends, we know that every class should extends with the CI underscore controller, CONTROLLER. Remember one more thing, every library that is a predefined library, that is a user defined library which is created by you. Maximum of the libraries are going to be stored, are going to be loaded into your controllers only, guys. Maximum, right? Inside the controller only we will do it, right? So now let us create an index function, object function index in this, right? Just I'm writing a message, welcome message, guys. That's it. I'm not writing anything. Save the file. Open your browser. Localhost news slash new year, new year. Hit enter. So welcome message is coming. All right, guys. Here, what I want to do exactly, we have to display a calendar. To display a calendar, we have to load a library. Na? Without loading library, we can't do anything. So otherwise, you have to write your own logic to display the calendar. So I have a library called calendar. To load this, we have a method called this of load of library. What is the name of the library? Do you know? If you don't know, go to the manual. So manual will tell you with what name, initializing the class. Can you see? So library, and this is the calendar, guys. This is the name of the class. The name of the class you have to pass here, calendar class. Once the calendar class is loaded, so we have to call the calendar class methods now. To call the calendar class methods, we have to use something like this, guys. This of calendar. Exactly. What is the name you passed here? With the name, you have to call the calendar class methods, guys. So now you can call the calendar class methods. Can you see? This of calendar of, there is a method called generate method, GENERAT, generate method. That's it, guys. It will generate the calendar. You can echo this. If you can echo, I think calendar is going to be generated. I'm thinking, guys. Refresh the page. You see the current month calendar is displaying, and 31st is also highlighted here. See, I'm asking you, can you write the logic to display the calendar next month, a previous month, or something like this? Will you, right? If you can pass some parameters also here, guys. So here I'm passing some parameters here. I think first is going to be year, I believe 2021 comma 1 I am taking. Let me refresh the page. If you can refresh, can you see January 2021, and you are getting the new year calendar, guys. 1 2 tomorrow, right? Friday, right? Friday 1 2 3 and 4 5 6 7 8 9, something like this we are getting. So here, if you are not passing anything, I'm just passing 2021, guys. I'm not passing the second parameter. Then it will display the 2021 year, but it will go for the current default month, December, guys. Can you see? December 2021 is, if you are not providing the second parameter. Provide the second parameter. I'm going to provide the 01 I processed and refresh the page. Or you can see you're getting January 2021, something like this you are getting, guys. So this is how we can pass the parameters, right? So what is the method we have? In the calendar library, we have a method called generate. To this generate method, we have to pass some parameter. If you're not passing anything, it will display current month, current year by default. If you are passing some parameters, based on the parameters, it will display the calendar, guys. This is how the things will be work together. Read the calendar. Still, we have a lot of things are there in the calendar to work with the calendar or anything you want. Yes, a lot of things are there, guys. Can you go and read the manual? So if you can read the manual, a lot of things are there in the calendaring class. See, for example, when I'm working with calendar, I want to see next button and previous button. Next button means February. Next means March. Next means April. Something like this. Previous button also. What is the calendar month? January. Previous month, December. Previous month, November. Something like this. We have to get it now, right? So how can we enable previous buttons and next buttons, guys? If you want to know, it come down. They will explain you guys displaying a calendar. If you want to display the calendar, first load this library. After loading the library, call the generate method. That will work automatically, guys, right? So if you want to generate a calendar with a specific year and specific month, for example, 2006 and 6 month, guys. So this is what they are doing here. Now you can just pass this parameter. You can write one more time. You can write, no problem. Now this is going to generate one more calendar, guys. Can you see now? If you can go and refresh the page, I think you are going to get one more calendar. This is January 2021. This is June 2006 calendar is going to be displayed here, guys, right? Everything is customized, guys. Here we can check the customizable things, guys, here, right? And one more thing, you can see passing data to your calendaring cells. What is the meaning of it? Calendar cells means, for example, there is an event, guys, January 26th, there is an event. 15th, there is an event. How we can enable these events here? We have to check those events as well, right? So let us see how we can check these events as well, guys. So some of the dates in the calendar, we have to highlight them. So how we can highlight them? Some of the dates of the calendar, right? Let us see how we can highlight them also. It is also possible. Let me keep this in comment. One calendar I'm enabling, 2006, I'm commenting this. Presently you are getting generate calendar 2021 and something like you are getting. How can we enable 15th or 14th, 26th January, something I want to highlight. 1st January also I want to highlight, guys. How can we highlight these things? Okay, shall we see now? Passing data to calendaring cells, guys. Here for the generate method, what we are doing here, can you see? This is the data they are taking. After that, for the generate method, they are passing as a third parameter as a data. Third parameter for the generate method. So this is the third date, 7th date, 30th date, and 26th date. So now these are the dates we want to allow something. On click the date, you want to perform some action also, right? Can you see now? I'm just copying this, guys, data. You can go to your controller. Just you can keep here, guys. Before generate method, just I'm keeping the data here. So you have some actions on the particular day. That's why you are providing something like this. If you don't want any link, you can make it as an empty link, guys, no problem. So I don't want to make any link for the card. Just pass this data to this generate method, guys. That's it. It's an associative array. The associative array key is going to the calendar date 3, 7, 13, 26. Can you see these 4 dates are going to be highlighted in the calendar now? When you refresh the page, you can go and check this. Can you see? 3rd is highlighted, 7th is highlighted, 13 is highlighted, and 26 is highlighted. On click the 26, where are you going here, guys? If you can click on the 26, you are going to the particular link automatically. Whatever the link you provided, you will go to the particular link, guys. Can you see? I'm clicking on it, but actually example.com is not in our control, right? But even if you can click it, you are going to the particular. See, I'm clicking on 26. Now you went to example.com news 26. article 2016. You went to the particular link now. For example, guys, you want to know the event details on 26. You want to know the event details of the 1st January. By clicking this, you are going to separate page. I will fetch the event details. I will display on the page for you. Like this. This is how. See, it is very easy, guys, to libraries. Everything, if you are interested, on to the manual. By seeing the manual, we can easily understand how the things are going to be work together. So you know one more thing, we can enable previous link, next link also for the calendar. We are not enable the previous link and next link to the calendar. Still read the manual. Slowly, if you can go through the manual, you will get everything, guys. Can you see setting display preferences? What is the display preferences here? Okay, start day with Saturday, na? Month type long, day type short. I don't know what is this. What is they're saying that some preferences array, this preferences array they're passing to library, this software of library. Do one thing, let me copy this preferences array. and just go to, before loading the library, we have to do it, guys. This is what the preferences are we have. We have taken a preferences array with the start day, month type, day type. Okay, now you can see, let's refresh the page. See the old calendar. If I refresh, can you see calendar was something changed, right? Earlier here we don't have Saturday and Sunday. What is the start month, guys? Here Saturday, start day. I want to make this as a Sunday. It shouldn't be a Sunday. Now when you refresh the page, this will be Sunday now. Like this, each and everything will be, so the parameters you have to study it, guys. So what are the parameters available in that? Yes, we have to check this, guys. Okay, fine, right? So now the next thing, guys, here, load of library, we pass the preferences. Month type long, what is the meaning of month type long? So because of the month type long, you are getting full month name as January. If you can give month type as a short, then what is the output going to be get? Let us show you. Month type is going to be short. Refresh the page. If you can refresh the page, you are going to get the short month name here. Can you see? You are going to get a John. Every option we are displaying in the calendar, we can customize it. So only thing, guys, you need to habituate how to read the manual, right? Calendaring, how to read the things now. Can you see? So what are the parameters? Start day, month type and all. So if you want, you can see the preferences list, guys. What is the local time, start day? What is the start day? By default Sunday. If you're not providing anything. Month type longer, shorter. Day type. So you want to make longer. So if you can give day type long, then what is your output? You know, day type is going to be long. I'm giving you, guys. If you can give long as day type, refresh the page, you will get Sunday, Monday, full week names. Refresh the page, and you see Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, like this full week names you are going to get it from the calendar, guys. Still, you can see the preferences, all the preferences you can see. Oh, this is, I'm asking you, guys. So next preview by default false. Let me make it as true, guys. Now you are going here as a preference. I'm setting this value. So next true value is going to be true, guys. If you can set to true, can you see this is going to be generate the previous button, next button. Do you see? You're able to see now the on the top of it, you are able to enable the links, guys. Next month and the previous month links are going to be enabled. So by clicking the next month, can you see here? Here the value is changed, guys. 2021 and 02, the value is changed. If you can click the back button, you are getting 2020 12. What is the current month I am having? For the current month, previous month. For the current month, the next month, something like it will be considered. Right? If you are not passing anything to it, so by default, what it will do, guys, you pass it 2021, right? So that's the reason you are getting something like this. If you are not passing anything, it will display by default the current month, guys. Right. Actually, we can do one thing also. Initially, I'm passing two parameters, guys, here. Dollar year equal to current year, guys. We have to pass current year. What is the current year, Amma? 2020. Come on. Actually, we have to pass null value, no? Okay, don't worry. We will see it 1 minute, right? So anyhow, let me pause this. So we enable the previous link. I mean, what I want to tell you, if I click this next button, I have to get the next month. If I click the previous button, I have to get a previous month. But here, the index, the segments are adding here. Do you see? New year is the controller, index is a method, 2020 and 12 are becomes parameters. Na? Do you know URL architecture? What is the meaning of URL architecture? If we can see this is a URL is there. So there is a new year. New year is a controller. In the controller, we have a method called index method. In this index method, we are passing 2020 comma 12 as the parameters. Yes or not? As per the URL architecture, what is the first segment? Name of the controller. Second segment, method. And the remaining all segments are called parameters to your method, guys. Parameters to your methods. Then what I need to do here, I have to pass the parameters initially year, initially month. Month equal to initially nothing, guys. And year equal to initially nothing. Initially we don't have any values, guys. Very first time. Can you see, are you having anything at the very first time? Right? You don't have anything here. Very first time, right? Now, what I want to do here, based on the value you are picking, the value we have to pass here. The value I am passing You can pass $M, you can pass. Yeah. Dynamically, we are passing the parameters, guys. This value will change based on the click the next button. Okay, you see if you can refresh. By default, what are you getting here? 20 December 2020 you are getting. Click on the next button. Can you see the calendar is changing? 2021. Click on the next button. February 2021. Click on the next one. March 2021. See, these values are passing to your method. Initially, at the very first time when you're executing, at the very first time, we don't have anything. We don't have anything, right? So there is no segment 1, segment 2, segment 3, nothing was there. That's why this value by default will take null value. If you are passing empty, by default it will take the current month, current year, guys. Current month, current year. When you are clicking the next button, you see URL segments are adding. Can you see segments are adding now? These segments we are reading and we are passing to index method. January 2021, February 2021, something like that. Even if you can click the back button also, the values are changing properly. This is how we can work with the calendar functionality, guys. The only thing here, we need some patience. We need to read the manual. In the manual, everything they guided how to use this library and how to work with the library and everything they will tell us, guys. The only thing what we need to do, we have to check the manual. So what is the manual they are saying us in the manual? What is they are explaining us, and all we have to check it. Creating calendar template. I don't want to make you confused by discussing this, guys. It will look like somewhat complex. Don't worry. So just try to watch the basic thing, guys. This is the class reference. There is a method called initialize method. There is a method called generate method. Just now we use a generate method only 2 methods inside of it. Oh, get a month name also is there, guys. Current month name. How can we get the current month name? Get day names also. Adjust date and get a total days in a month. Default template. If you want to work with any template, parse template. Don't worry about the templates right now. So because we didn't enter into the subject perfectly, right? So we may have some confusion. Wait for some time, right? Get total days of the second month and year 22. Sorry. So automatically you get 29 days, something like this. So what are the available methods and what are the available methods in the calendar class, and everything was even here is available, guys. So you don't worry about those things, guys, right? The only thing, read the manual. Things will be clear, I think so, right? So this is already I used, guys. That's why I'm going somewhat, right? I know already I read so many times, right? I can able to do, but little bit confuses you initially, but you guys also needs to gone through the manual also. By reading the manual, just to read the manual, each and every option. See, guys, if you want to seriously learn a framework, you have to spend some time by reading the manual also. When I'm discussing any library, today I discussed a calendar library. After completing this class, first read the calendar library, then try to practice it. Tomorrow, I can discuss form validation library, right? Definitely, I will discuss form validation library. Once form validation library is completed, then first you have to go to the form validation library. Right, read the manual from the manual, guys, about the form validation. Read the manual and then implement it. Tomorrow I'm going to, in the next session we are going to discuss about the form validation library, something like this. This is how we can work with the libraries, guys. Very important, guys. Every library, almost all 32-35 libraries they provided. At least 20 libraries we are going to discuss, guys. At least 20 to 25 libraries we are going to discuss in our application development. Seriously, they will help us.